All right, that's enough talking. Let's go. It's high time we went through that door.
It's right there.
Now that I think about it, number 9 bracelet's just basically the same as a number 0 bracelet. It doesn't touch the digital root.
Oh.
Wouldn't the caps bracelet keep on beeping though? I just randomly thought of that.
Alright, let's keep going.
I think these stairs go to the bottom deck.
Looks dry.
Let's head down.
Hey, it's a...
This is the Neptune symbol. There must be a key around here somewhere.
Neptune Key. I only have the Uranus key card.
It's a different planet. Plus, it's the wrong kind of key.
Let's turn around and go back for now.
Yeah. Hey, another door. And a card reader.
There's
this
the
time.
Uranus.
It's the Uranus symbol.
This is the place.
The library. Here we go.
Wow! It's totally full of books!
This one's not a hard puzzle to get out of, by the way. It's just really complicated.
There's so many. I don't know where to look.
Alright, if we want to get through that door out there, we need the Neptune Key. I say we split up and look for it.
Okay.
Very well.
Sure thing.
Good.
Let's do
Let's
this.
get started then. We don't have a lot of time. Hurry.
Time to find a way out. Oh, what the hell? Ellis sleeps in a small chamber past the Forest of Knowledge. As he began his search for reasons he didn't fully understand, Junpei felt those particular words float through his mind. Well, I mean, I would as well. That was random. Like, they went to AOV just for that. Cool. So yeah, there's a lot of places to look. So either way, I am going to start here. Principles of monkey behavior. And imagine there's a book describing praxeology studies of monkeys. Monkeys are very similar to humans, evolutionary. So I imagine the research was fruitful. Oh look, Zevin, here's a book that's perfect for you. It's called Correlation of Muscle, Bone Density, and Bone Strength. You're just saying that because it says muscle. This book is called Dissection. The bookshelf must be all medical books. From what I can tell, it sounds as though these books have been organized by genre. The library must be massive. I'm rather impressed by how well organized it is. Functions of the human brain, huh? Huh? I guess this is a book about the nervous system. I'd love to ask you to read it to me, but I don't think we have that time. I'm kind of curious about it too. There's got to be a reason why people connect with each other, you know? What's a picture book doing here? It looks like it's about out of league. It does seem a little weird that it's so different from the others. Maybe you ought to take it with you. Okay then. Let me have a look at that. There's baseball in this one. Come on, Junpei, let's see what's in it. I'm gonna get onto a limb and say it's probably baseball stuff. Whoa! A head? Okay. Human equality theory. Human anatomy. Regeneration of eternal organs. Dissection atlas, huh? The whole shelf is full of medical books. Looks like this one's called Recreation of Lost Human Functions. You think they're talking about if you lose part of your body, then you can grow back? I don't think so. Maybe they're talking about reconstruction abilities that humankind once possessed. In other words, they may be talking about cultivating a sixth sense. Ancient gladiators. What's this book doing here? Maybe they were researching human physical limits across history. Interesting. So that one's all done. There's an old book here called Recreation of Lost Human Functions. Oh, God damn it. Okay. To go here then. Oh, there's 2 areas for this one. An automated robotic assembly line techniques. What's that? Some sort of comic book? Jeez, I guess boys really like that stuff, eh? No, you're thinking of a different sort of robot. This book is talking about automated machinery that's used to build things like cars. What's that one called? It says Foundations of DNA and Genetic Engineering. Okay, I can't that one. Communication and Computer Science. That's a pretty generic title. To be honest, it's so vague, I don't really know what it might be about. An overview of photochemistry. I think whoever set this up wanted to see a cover and not the spine. Let's look at it, okay? Oh, looks like there's a whole lot of space behind these books. Look, Junpei, I think there's something hidden behind the books. Powerful light bulb. There isn't anything else here now. Okay. This book is called Principles of Monkey Behavior. This book is called Correlate. Oh, it's... what the hell? Oh, I get it. Okay. That's funny. Teletemporation and telepathy. What the hell is this one about? Well, I know what telepathy is, but I've never heard of teletemporation. It refers to having the ability to travel through time. This book's called Mind Swap? You mean you could, like, change bodies with someone? Well, whoops, what did that say? What the hell? Oh, she said... I remember that line, actually, pretty well. She said how she wouldn't mind changing minds with Junpei, but she gets along with him, but wouldn't like switching it with Seven. It's like I'd even want to swap bodies with you, with a little brat like you. Hey, were you just imagining it? You were! Shut up! Yeah, well, he wasn't the only one. Huh? Kids have battle as if. Man, they've got some weird stuff here. I can't even pronounce that one. Who's that? Some famous guy? It's not a person's name, it's the name of a fictional book created by Abdul Al-Azred. It's said to be one of the sources used to the creation of the legendary Book of the Dead, the Necromonicon. Oh, so these are the occult books. This one says the golden rabbit and the moon on it. Does that mean it says it's about a rabbit? Rabbits are pretty cute, but what's this moon stuff about? It's talking about the Judas tree that is said to grow on the moon according to Chinese legend. Interesting. Now I think, yeah, already read that. So, down here? Was it paleontology? This one's about fossils. Ammonites are pretty nasty looking. Micrographia, huh? Oh yes, Robert Hooke's first work. First published in 1665. God damn it, substances and other things too small to be seen in detail by human eyes. He then drew pictures of many of the things he'd examined, and published them in a book. I'd hazard a guess this shelf is concerned with natural sciences. Why did mankind lose their tails, Junpei? Do you know what this one's about? Why are you asking me? I don't even know we had tails to lose. Maybe you should ask human with a tail. I'm not even going to bother trying to read all this. It's basically talking about how monkeys turn into humans, and that's what people think. At least that's what I read. I was rather young. I may have remembered incorrectly. Huh? Why the hell would a kid be reading that? Creatures of the South Seas. I wonder if this one's got pictures of colourful fish and stuff. This one says transition of extinct species. We need to hurry it up, or we're going to end up in the pages of a book like that. This one's facing the front again. Introduction, thinking about the Earth even when you're in the ocean. Kind of romantic in a way, I guess. Okay, I guess we're not picking it up. Mother of Nature. Is that some sort of book about hippie chicks? Probably not, except perhaps tangentially. It's most likely about environmental protection. I was just trying to make a joke. Dude, hippie chicks? Really? The theory of evolution. Heck, even I know this one. This is that Darwin guy, right? Oh, yes and no. Charles Darwin wrote a book on the origin of species. In it, he put his theory of evolution. Yes, I remember that part. He called it natural selection. Exactly. Theory of the Cambrian explosion. Did a bomb go off near somewhere called Cambria? Wrong kind of explosion. Roughly 500 million years ago, during what is known as the Cambrian period, research suggests that the variety of living organisms increased by an order of magnitude. Why that happened is, however, still something of a mystery. There are a number of theories. This book's most likely a collection of them. Alright then. What the hell? Hang on. Oh, I thought the stuff was missing from there. Nope. This book says Mind Swap on the spine. This book's called Teleportation. Energy Theory, huh? I don't even understand all the damn titles. Looks like this shelf's all science technology. Oh, hi. Hey, what's the deal with these titles? They're all just gibberish. Hey, what if we, like, switch them around? Switch them around? Yeah, if we move them around, maybe they'll spell something. I get it. Yeah, heck, it's worth a shot. I know what this spells. It's meant to spell... Open! Nope, wrong one. Open! Here, find bulb. How about this? Looks like putting these books in the right order, open this thing up. Huh? That was a piece of cake. Hooray, you did it! Guess that turned out well enough. So the letters from the title spelled out "Open here, find bulb." Cool. Wonder what the bulbs are for. What's this? An overview of conformal energy theory. It's a theory that persists of an invariant quantum field where conformal transformation can take place. Knock it off with this science voodoo stuff. You trying to put me to sleep? Huh? Okay then. What's this piece of paper? There's a note on the table. Lights to the books. Huh? What does that mean? Interesting. Well, intelligence often hides itself. Have you ever thought about the pages of a book? Each page only sees what? Maybe 2 or 3 minutes of light before the reader is on the next. They spend the rest of their lives locked in darkness. Rather like myself. That's horrible. Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining, not at all. I live in the darkness, yes. But that has gifted me with the ability to catch the truths others might miss. I can hear the voices hidden in the darkness, you might say. I want to click it up. I want to pick it up. God damn it. Energy theory, stuff like that. Yeah. Just listen to you read those titles is giving me a headache. Can't say fancy technology stuff and I get it along really well. Keep on talking about that stuff and you're going to put me to sleep. Okay, I've already done that part. Black hole hypothesis. Gamma ray astrophysics. I guess this bookshelf has an astronomy theme. Whoops. Hey, it's another one of those kids' picture books. Looks a lot like the one we found. Okay, let's open this one up. This one has some Native Americans on the cover. Hey, Junpei, take a look at this one. Native Americans, huh? Maybe it's got some... Whoa! Okay. I don't know what this one says. Okay, so... if we go down the stairs... Owen, huh? Owen isn't good enough to go on. Perhaps it's about the English Revolutionary? Dad kind? What the hell is this? Wasn't that a German mathematician? Maybe it's a compilation of his work. Librenze. This book is in German. It looks like it's complete works of something. Never heard of it. Well, if Snake doesn't know what it is, I don't think we'll ever know. Sheldrake. Sheldrake? Isn't Sheldrake... interesting. By the way, I want to see something. I can't. I have to look at dialogue to be able to tell. Oh, there's one of these books. Hey, there's another one of these picture books. Okay. Flowchart. Flowchart. Activate the flowchart. I'm trying to press down. It's not working. Fine. Do this. Oh, you can't activate the flowchart. Something about these things kind of feel nice. Brings back good memories. I guess even people like 7 were kids once. No shit, you little brat. Hey, guys, cool it. Alright, I think I'm going to take this picture books with me. It's got a magic wand in it. Okay, so what's inside? Well, aren't you going to open it? Pretty sure it's just going to have pages inside smarter. Whoa! One in Japanese literature. What's this? Original Japanese folklore? Looks like there were a bunch of books about Japanese culture here. Mostly ones about folklore, though. Well, folklore can cover a wide range of subjects. History, urban life, religious trends, environmental changes, oral traditions. Folklore can cover all these things if you know where to look. That looks pretty deep. Agriculture and historical organizations and folklore. Interesting. Well, let's see what we've got here. So many books here. I wonder what this one's. Whoa, what's this? Warm. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. What's to do with this sappy stuff? What the hell happened there? This bookshelf has some sort of glass inlay. It's pretty big, but there's only 6 books in it. That seems kind of weird. Hey, it looks like there's something at the bottom. Can't really see it though, the glass is foggy. Okay. Hi. It's a small enclosure with 9 sides. There are 3 of these things that look like music stands? Okay, how about we try putting these pictures books on the stands? Okay. This is a little weird. Sheldrake 5. There are 3 lights at this thing. They aren't very bright though. Hey, didn't we find some really powerful light bulbs? Why don't you put them into one of the lights? Yeah, well, it'll get a lot brighter. If there are 3 light bulbs, 3 lights, that means 3 light bulbs. There won't be much pointless unless we can replace all 3. We need 3 light bulbs. Where are the other light bulbs? I've been trying to look for them, but I can't find them. Yeah, shut up. Deals with one of the unsolved problems of additive number theory. Sorry I said anything. Let's not get into this right now. math, algebraic things, Riemann hypothesis, yada yada yada. Where could they be? Ancient gladiators, yada yada yada. These stairs go to the bottom floor. This one always confuses me. I don't think it's a door, I think it's a wall. There are books here in all sorts of language, but there's nothing suspicious about the shelf on the left. A bunch of books on folklore and myth. Awesome, there's a locked glass. Yep, won't budge. In the middle of the glass door is a cylinder lock. You know, the kind of lock where you rotate the numbers around. What the hell is this? It looks like they just gave us the answer. Guess it might as well be worth a shot. Oh yeah! It's these numbers. Okay. So, I can't really read that properly. I don't know why. But I think it's 692415. 6. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Six nine two 415. Oh no, 632. You can actually do the hint thing. That's cool. Okay, 632415. So I just need to turn this into a 3. There it is. And the other light bulb should be in here. You did it, Junpei! Yay! I don't know why, but I don't really feel particularly happy about being praised for that. Whatever, at least the lock's open now. Let's see if we can get it open, alright? Cool, there's the light bulb. Alright, so there are 3 lights here. I'm going to change these bulbs. Now they should. Yep, Sheldrake 5. Awesome, it worked. Way to go, Junpei. Good job, buddy. There's something projecting on the bottom. These letters, they seem familiar. It says Sheldrake on the spine of the book. It's got the volume number written on the lower part of the spine. Oh god, do I have to like inspect the name itself? Oh my god. Yep.
Sheldrake 5?
I think I saw the rest of this collection somewhere.
Yeah, I think it was somewhere around here.
Let's go take a look.
Okay.
Sheldrake.
Have you heard of him?
Yeah, Lotus told me about him.
Oh yeah.
There's a British biochemist named Sheldrake. He has a rather interesting theory. Morphogenetic fields, which relies on the theory of morphic resonance.
Really? From Lotus, huh?
Well, Clover also said something to me about that stuff.
She did?
Yeah, what was it?
The ability to access a morphogenetic field is affected by a couple of things. The first is epiphany, and the other is danger.
That girl. I told her not to tell anyone.
You did? Why?
Well...
Look, man, I didn't push it because we're in a hurry, but I'm kind of sick of this. How about you just tell me, okay?
Tell you what?
Don't give me that. About the experiment.
Ugh. Very well, fine. I'll tell you everything. But not here. Let's move to the top floor. I suppose I might as well start by telling you why I kept quiet, and why I made sure Clover did as well. To be honest, the explanation is quite simple. Zero told me not to. I had little choice. He didn't walk up and tell me, of course. He gave me a message engraved on a card.
That's... a Braille card. It looks just like the one you showed us earlier. So you had 2 cards.
No, only one.
Huh? What do you mean? I thought that card just had some rules for the Nonary game on it.
Yes, it did. And those were the rules I read you. However, they were not the only thing on the card. There was something I didn't read. Well, perhaps I should say, there was something I couldn't read.
And that was?
Tell no one of the events that took place 9 years ago. Tell, and I activate your sister's detonator. It's a threat on our lives.
Oh. Well,
Oh.
well, what about
That's,
Clover? Did she get a message from Zero too?
I don't believe she did. But doesn't it strike you as strange that Zero would shut my mouth, but not hers?
Yeah.
To be on the safe side, however, I told her it was best not to tell anyone.
Well, that's understandable, I suppose. Ah, damn it.
Still, apparently she told you. That girl.
What's wrong with her telling me? I figured some stuff out with the things she told me. I mean, it looks like the whole activate her detonator thing was just a bluff. She's prancing around downstairs happy as a clam now that you're back.
That's very true. I've decided to tell you the truth. The chance that Santa is Zero is very high. I feel I can assume Santa doesn't have the time to observe us at the moment. And at any rate, even if he were, I very much doubt he would kill us.
Why?
Clover told me about the four-leaf clover, about the words. If he knew about that, then he was in my group during the first experiment. He wouldn't kill us. No matter what the situation was.
Hey, Snake?
Yes, I know. You want to know what happened during the experiment.
Yeah, you can stop putting it off.
Yeah.
How much do you know?
Clover told me about...
I see.
Yeah, the fact that there were 9 people in the desert, 9 people on the boat, and the girl died. But we don't know who the girl was.
The morphogenetic field in the experiments 9 years prior. How the experiments had taken place simultaneously at 2 locations, one being the ship and the other being a building in Nevada.
That's the first 4-line one. God damn it. And yeah, lucky we can read it.
And the girl that died during the experiment. She told you all that, did she? At any rate, I now know how much you've learned. All that remains for us to determine
is who did this and why. Right.
Yes.
Can you tell me what happened?
Yes. The people who organized the initial experiment were from a company called Cradle Pharmaceuticals. There were 4 of them running the show. Gentaro Hongo, Nagisa Nijisaki, Teruaki Kubota, Kagechika Musashido. Hongo was the CEO of Cradle Pharmaceuticals. Nijisaki was his right-hand man and did the lion's share of the planning. Kubota led the company's research and development division.
Yeah, these are the men. That's the 9th man over here. That's Ace. Or Gentaro. That's the guy who was drugged to make it look like a snake. And that's the captain guy.
Musashido was their majority stockholder. It was these 4 people who planned the initial experiment. Let me simplify it for you. Hongo designed it, and Nijisaki put it all together. Kubota developed the technology required, and Musashido provided the cash.
So it's Hongo, Nijisaki, Kubota, Musashido...
Of course, more than 4 people were required to conduct an experiment of this scale. To that end, they organized a top-secret team to assist them with their research. All in all, they gathered 10 people or so. Those 10 completed their team, and they were able to begin the project. They named it the Nonary Project. The purpose of the experiment was to research the prospect of controlling a human mind through sheer will. The vessel, I suppose you could say, for this control was the morphogenetic field. Why did the glycerin suddenly begin to crystallize? Why did the crystal structure of EDT undergo a sudden change? Why did the rats improve their puzzle-solving skills with each generation? Experiments with humans produced the same results. The more people who knew the answer to a question, the more there were who could answer correctly without having seen the problem before. Why is that? How could it happen? The answer is that the shape of the answer has been stored in a field invisible to the naked eye. And through that field, the resonant event transmits information related to that answer. That's essentially the idea behind morphogenetic fields.
I guess you could say it's like a radio tower. Information is being sent through the radio tower and is resonating to antennas, so it can be displayed on TVs. This could be another thing. The answer is being found out, and then it's resonating to other people's minds. I guess that's the best way it could be explained for now.
But that's just a theory.
Can't bring yourself to believe it?
No, not really. But I can at the same time, honestly. I guess it's like, you can't really believe something until you see it, and since you can't literally see this with your own eyes, it's a little harder, but I can believe it.
Yeah.
Let's say someone killed another person because the devil told them to do it. Whether the devil exists or not has no relevance to the murder. They believe the devil exists. Whether or not he does is immaterial.
So what matters here is that Hongo believed in the morphogenetic field.
That's right.
But I still don't get it. You said they wanted to figure out how to control people, right? That is what you were saying.
Yes.
So how are they going to do that with a morphogenetic field?
I'll keep it simple. Let's suppose 10,000 people have solved a certain problem. The chance of you knowing that answer, even if no one has told you, will go up. Let's have another example, shall we? Say 1 million people were to do a handstand right now. Tomorrow, the chances of you doing a handstand would be higher, even if you had heard nothing of this hypothetical mass handstanding. Mankind's thought process and actions are all part of a resonant event. All of the resonant events encoded in the fields are projected onto you. Of course, this assumes you believe in this theory. Do you follow so far?
Yeah.
Now, if there was a person who had the same effect as those millions of people, what would happen? If that one person were to do a handstand, other people would find themselves wanting to do handstands as well. Can you imagine what a person with powers like that would be able to do?
It's like when you sneeze or cough and other people feel like sneezing and coughing, I guess.
Come on, there's no way.
Oh, yawning.
I'm not done. Imagine another scenario. Imagine another person. This is an ordinary person. Let's say he does a handstand. What if there was someone who could grab the resonant event he created by doing that and use it to make other people do handstands? What would happen then? A person who has the power to write to the field, and someone who can read from the same. You could think of them as the writer and the reader, or the transmitter and the receiver. What would the world be like if there were people with abilities like these?
So the transmitter's resonant event can be transmitted through the field and sent to the receiver. And then the transmitter can control the receiver however they wish. That's what you're saying, right?
Yes. Close enough, at least.
Come on, that's just crazy.
Well, if you want to prove that, then you'll have to test it first.
How?
At least, that was how they thought. That was why they decided to do their experiment. That was how the Nonary Project began. By the way, Junpei, have you
yeah?
ever heard of the Gansfeld experiment?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an experiment in telepathy, right? You place a pair of subjects in separate rooms. Then you show one a picture and ask the other what they see.
Interesting. I'm impressed. Yes, that is exactly correct.
So, why did you bring up the Gansfeld experiment?
It was used to screen subjects for the Nonary Project. The hospital in a remote town was affiliated with Cradle Pharmaceuticals. Hongo used it to conduct experiments on visiting children in secret. Some of them, he found, had potential. He began to gather children that showed promise. Children that seemed as though they might be able to access the field. Of course, none of them volunteered. They were kidnapped. There were 9 pairs of siblings taken, for 18 children total. For reasons that were not fully understood at the time, each pair had 1 transmitter and 1 receiver.
I'm not sure if they're going to explain it anytime soon. But keep in mind that the newspaper article of the missing children said 16 people, not 18.
They were split perfectly. As such, the 18 children were split into 2 groups of 9. The children who were put into Group Q were the ones who excelled at transmitting. They were transferred to the mock experiment building known as Building Q in the Nevada desert. The children who excelled at receiving were put in Group A. Group A was then placed on the former hospital ship Gigantic. From the experiments he had conducted so far, Hongo had learned the following. There are 2 things that can increase one's resonance with the fields. The first is epiphany. The other is danger. Have you ever been faced with an especially difficult problem and thought about it very long and very hard until finally an answer suddenly appeared in your mind? It may seem obvious to say so, but that is what is meant by epiphany. The information obtained through that epiphany can be easily transmitted through the fields, where it can be easily interpreted. Adding danger to that equation allows for even easier field access. That's where Hongo came in. They set up a number of puzzles across the Gigantic. The participants had to solve each one before they could move to the next room. Of course, he hadn't forgotten to include danger.
Whoops.
He had detonated a bomb on the hull of the Gigantic. The children in Group A were forced to play the Nonary game as the ship sunk. By forcing the children into a life-or-death situation, Hongo hoped to increase the likelihood of their tapping into the fields. The children from Group Q, on the other hand, were confined to the mock experiment building, Building Q. Building Q duplicated the interior and puzzles of the Gigantic exactly. Every detail was exactly the same. Hongo explained the situation to the children in Group Q. Solve the puzzles you find throughout the rooms. When you have the answers, transmit that information to the children in Group A. If you succeed, they will be able to solve the puzzles and escape. But if you fail, then the Gigantic will sink, and your brothers and sisters will drown. Those were his orders. Do you know why the astronauts of Apollo 13 were able to return to Earth safely? It was because NASA had access to a replica of the Apollo 13 capsule. All of the equipment, the instruments, everything. All of it identical. Everything was just like the real Apollo 13. NASA was able to replicate the situation the astronauts found themselves in. By putting themselves in the same situation, they attempted to solve the problems the astronauts were dealing with. Once they found solutions, they reported their findings to the men aboard the actual capsule. That was how they were able to return safely. It was the same with the Gigantic and Building Q. The children from Group Q had to use the power of epiphany to solve the puzzles they found and transmit what they learned through the fields. The children in Group A, however, they had to access the fields to learn how they might advance to the next stage. That is the simplest explanation I can manage.
Hey, Junpei, Snake! How much longer are you two gonna sit around on those bony asses? Get down here already!
He's right. Let's go, shall we? We don't have much time. We need to get out of here, and soon.
Hold it. There's one more thing I want to ask you.
Hmm?
Are you sure that there were 18 kids?
Why?
Well, I thought it was only 16.
Oh, yes. That was what they said on the news, wasn't it? Yes. I have no doubt that 18 children were abducted and used in Hongo's experiment. After all, you couldn't exactly play a Nonary game with any less, could you?
Well, yeah, but are you saying that the news got it wrong?
Yes, I am. There were 2 more children. However, they had no relatives that I'm aware of. I imagine no one filed a police report when they went missing. They were brother and sister, like Clover and I. The brother's name was Aoi. The sister's name was... Her name was Akane. That was the girl who died.
Junpei's reaction is... yeah.
Akane Kurashiki died 9 years ago?
That can't be true! She was right here! She's being kidnapped by Santa!
Then, who is June?
An imposter!
No. That's impossible. It can't be true. Akane isn't that uncommon of a name. If Snake had known her last name, that's a different matter entirely. So they share a name. A lot of other people do too. It doesn't mean anything. It was someone else.
Akane is a common name.
Of course it was.
Is something wrong, Junpei? Your breathing sounds strange.
Oh, no, it's nothing. I'm fine. Let's get back down there, all right? I couldn't do it. Why didn't I ask? What's her last name? I just couldn't get the words to come out.
I'd ask, but no worries, I can understand. Okay, we need to go get Sheldrake 5. Seriously, Akane. Sheldrake, this is it. This is what the shadow picture was pointing to. But didn't it say 5 at the end of the shadow picture? Yes, I think we need to find the 5th volume. Wow, would you look at that? There's a big red button behind this book. Guess we should press the button. And voila! But doesn't that push the exit? What was that sound? It sounded like something really big moving. Came from the top floor. Alright, let's go check it out. Because if they're going to the left and right, doesn't that cover the door? Oh, no it doesn't. It just goes behind it. That's cool. Hi. 13, 14, 10, and 13. This looks like an output monitor. Bet the letters you type on the keyboard will show up here. Okay. 13, 14, 10, 13. Do you think we just need to put in the numbers from the wall on the keyboard? No, you can't. The keyboard doesn't have any number keys. You can't type in stuff like 3 or 4. Then that means... Well, I bet you gotta type something on that keyboard. Yeah, but you can only enter letters. And it looks like you only enter 4 letters. Let's see how it works. I guess you need to enter... You need to hit enter once you type in the letters. And you can erase what you typed with CLR. Okay, I get the basic operations. Let's give it a shot. Okay, so I'm assuming this is hexadecimal. So 13 in hexadecimal would be D. 10 would be A. No, 14. 14, 14, 14. 14 would be E. 10 would be A. Dead. Oh, okay. Yay! You did it, Junpei. It's unlocked now. Good job, Junpei. Whoa there, don't get too excited. The password was dead, remember? Just make me think whatever's waiting for us isn't good. So what? Jeez, you're such an old lady. We can't be worrying about stuff like that. I mean, come on, we got it unlocked, right? We got it to unlock. Let's go, hurry up. Alright then, let's, is it this door? Alright, handle, time to... Okay, that's not opening. Damn it! This thing won't even budge. What? Why not? We put in the password. What else do we have to do? Then that means it's the other door. Whoops, this one. Alright, let's get this thing open. Awesomeness!